25 years ago, he went through difficulty. 25 years later, he's here to share his story. Hoping it will impact you. You never know. And Yao Abuaji in Abu Dhabi. Good morning. You're listening to us in Abu Dhabi. Have a good one.
BSFM 104.3. Good to meet you.
Prof Machi.
Major so chamajino.
Boko there.
Boko na onso e.
Nyamiadum divine selection yedem.
Amen.
And I pay all any selection no. I hear me din I say Kwame Sefa kan present ko. 80 yedem. Dr. Benny.
Yeah, Benny.
Machi.
Yeah, Onia.
Boko there.
Adam keke.
Mi hu be mfiem pori ne ohuni.
Acha yi bi ni.
Anopesi yadase. Yadase pa say waji e fresh, so especially say you want to share your story and encourage others.
That's right.
Yabebe no so. Anope, we are back to the issue of committing suicide. Say obi wo hwa or say area sinyame debut nti mekumi ho ebi ditio ebi numedru money ebi ekfa overdose of medication ebi say omo ho obi kra prof what are the other methods
ebi yo ha obi twa no ho ebi yo ho so a obi huri atonsuom bi huri free a height bia abrosan so no we huri every one ebi kra de ahoma twine year used to be
yeah
between atade oh share oh now that we didn't think kunipa
yeah
we dey atade e was not get me kunipa but we bit me dey say no kuno and several other methods na imagine dey tell say enen komo na e bi di no me say obi tie pa
yeah
na if you don't mind, let me pray for just under 1 minute.
I don't mind.
If we say somebody could be saved this morning,
yeah,
be and be at the second out on home, and a druce in a home, and net day year, a beautiful day as we see. Why not going to say another day? I will take my life.
Yeah.
And the Yabon Pai say, Doc, one of me here, you have a share the experience. Now, ready, may the Lord lead the way. And so, Father, in Jesus' name, Yabon Pai de a thief when you know about him. So be I an abjunus and they'll be didn't hold them. The son, Abrabamu, Apushia say, Manini is Sania. And then ye didn't come here no ma home in freedom ha and kobe be a nipano. So now June Adam able to say obey no them na amadi of femuno on from biwa and then ye yim pie when it is to say and kwa Asia uwu na nepa Asian proe or Yesu denimo. Amen.
Amen.
And the chairman general, Empire Yabui, nice, let's say, Obitia and their own me if it you. No one say, Sewafa or Bremunia Manimo. I will say, it be beer. Na, I say, we need a buying new Sukurano. Not just say, you don't feel you are a human being again. I'm going to make a very big statement. I'm a church. Anytime anything threatens or there is a perceived threat to human dignity and agency, suicide can be present. Whatever threatens human dignity and human agency can make someone suicidal. The person may say, Adibia ea etwem funye chire obi se de ma meye nipa no eswate ena de ma me to me exercise control ewo nneema atwa me ho hia as a human being no so no I say me lose control no e betwa for nyina chani pan say the best thing to do is to take up your life na je won kwa so the tia bi no sa akonfoshe suben ya ebinim fam no ya honhwe hu say it's very complex chere say dia obetuma tia say completely sa and ya ne yentanka say suicide is caused by ABC. They said here German general obi enya malaria a plasmodium parasite and they say offer anti-malaria drugs what means say when you know the say why come na ohwato suicidal feelings ntesa it mean who say ABCDE na a cause and it mean fa a drama say e dey draw a man na suicide akọ na mumu there are what we call associations no enima ba ko mienu miensa bebrebia ebetumi a converge betuma kan ho abom na ama wa brabo no aye bribia o ha say unya akora nka wuya nanka ope na numu no ene yehunu se Ghana ha no there are several associations, several correlates and maybe etumi kekambo anona etumi bi kasa we di minyameko for the past since 2008 until now mamembo ebiso any kind of you say if you are simply a member men in Ghana and say Zoom training be for those who are interested in this you say member of Ghana hano adebia a threat to their masculinity. Say we bema na yeka akanka say no say bema na numadura enyo etu to a bema bo bema nsu san some what we call ethno-philosophical themes and some we say no etwa mfoni bi kire who a man is in our context and to say bia na dwuma say ebia na erija no na ehwemu say won adwuma say won a were mu eja won ena mema bi nso a sebe say abaya gini too these are issues are ehunahuna they are masculinity ehunahuna won mema yo say me bema enso me mu adwuma mpaso me bema me adwuma say no mfoni etwa ne say from our cultural perspective the man must be the one who people depend on. Tiniyire ene no etia or he kwan say on na bitua na dua na die na obawa ko hama ofie obehwe ne mbawa ya wo mo na bitua live bill etua utilities ahore ka ho na wetua edan a otim na die ka ho nyina emu ya yo gana ha kire say sa enyume yi a ye hwese mema beye ogana ha no se ne yire eka kire no se ana be ma no ko eko fati be mu a efe di ayi ho hwen yi na be ma no mu abeye dependent on oba na onya a perception bi se onya adwini bi se ne mema ye no as what is breached,
it's challenged his masculinity
and sa affected challenge masculinity no a very very dangerous. It's an associated issue. We are no free mema no ho say mema ho na on should who say what have I achieved in life. I mean a day mini die member courage in sim I'm not in control. That agency is any baby no come in fact be say sense of agency I think can you dream bia e won baby who say you can predictably see what the future is bringing to you when you are putting certain things in place. For example, where Bema or Juma, you expect that you make some money.
Yeah.
Where Bema or bar or Irawa, we expect that one the bell. Where Bema, I mean, when I down us, we expect say at least just say or make sure when Shiana will be who said this is your offer, your Benny, Yeni. If you don't see these things, then there's something we call meaning in life. Like I say, meaning obrana ubuno saying obrano shisheno wadwinu.
Yeah.
How is life structured in your mind? So obra and say me fi ase no my brother boy basabi me so emu a me taribisa me tare na why me frudua na pia me sign the philosophies in nema asisi wa brother mo ni wiase na de atwa ho hia no, they arrange themselves in your mind in a way be adwene a wo fa ho no, and so let me try for you to say you are a failure.
Yeah.
The men nyasa adwene no so no, this thought are associated, and your cause they are associated with suicidal behavior. No, I feel you to kakra ne a man so. Come here, much say women are more likely to attempt. Because attempt obey na who say unya obikuno ho, but they don't succeed.
I think.
Okay. You much say yana one time you so lethal methods. A bitch say one reason. A bitch say na man de j attention or tre obi attention say I'm communicating me bre inti beboame. And man so you much say what ajimwa they seek help. That's the member. Most men don't seek help. Generally,
is it our ego? And I say a yesenia bema you su etientina. I say uku seek help, you are weak.
Come is because of the social mental and social engineering of men. Oh, you have to tell what to tell about now, crown or three crown of his one. You are boy, don't cry. Yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy. And you're trying for you actually remember say you have to be tough, you have to be hard, you have to be rugged, rough. Now what they be to me, that sense of invincibility I did you men my human and why. And most men don't see help. The April no. I said they be made me bema menko. Now and member a committee suicide I said sorry amo in committee. And member wa dwene say obi ku ne ho a. The everyone say what I use lethal methods. Lethal. Just say idea ebe kun at once. Either say or born hutu or ne huko wrensumu or jump a height or baby beer a being every home and tam they don't play with it at all. Now a man the organa hanod you say oba wafa abuse mu so tia ware mu na edininya.
Yeah.
Oba any relationship obi say ne pe it up for no romantic crisis. Na think about when you be so don't know if the bema no ejam. Efe to aswa ye shian crop so come chronic illnesses. We call it a cut across. Say obi wo hono ma na call hospital. And home fa no. Na doctor no I catch and say when you diabetes. Now, in some of our studies, you say even the medical communication of the atom said the doctor never can crampuno. Let me provoke the feeling.
Yeah.
Or we hormonal cancer say the doctor now or can't say when you a kidney infection. Come when your kidney infection, and not just say when your kidney disease are ubu. I mean, you can get infections, throat, whatever.
Yeah.
So you can be treated. But the doctor no catch and say, hey, we infection here. I'm not sure. I say the young shine bram. I feel now what you na o Trump you need to say, hey, no they say me can design man me call dialysis so. So na just say me busu na me itimugu no. Me dey tria for dialysis. And sometimes even the communication about a diagnosis no dangerous. We into chronic illnesses and so some of the associated factors. We in the free hormone and che Ghana you say a human say.
Yeah.
Microphone you must say. life,
especially COVID.
Oh yes. Now come in this part of our world, no, living undignified life. I mean, just say because undignified life. I mean, just say when you see cat now what so now that V8 now that 7-story man. No, that's not the point. Number one, no, basic access to basic needs in life. DMD me to ebeton. Need the meshe. Sasani may if they are clearly threatened. And depending on who say, if you do cry again, maybe a medaying, the meshe ayading. Now I buy a big problem. Nippon Trump when you say, what is my dignity in life?
Yeah.
We say me free home come. I feel you uncle so one a mental illness. I don't know a dream yare. Mentally they are ill. For example, so be by a depressor, obey to me, I say, me come home. And on say all depressed persons are suicidal, baby. Namuno, to me, but say, Nipano, ebe yaboson, and ninja, or lose hope, unto me na, a trampunya chan say, on the area say in a man, obey in a man. No, by that depressor, or to me, any agent say,
Prof, side depression is sumami one. Na minkai message be a Dr. Amako or a retired psychologist,
okay,
a psychiatrist,
okay,
or the bano papa. Interesting, he talked about depression.
Okay.
Because we had advertised a bear program way.
Right.
As a chairman general, I wish to contribute to this topic on suicide by firstly saying that in almost every case of suicide, one finds an undertone of depression, a topic that will need enough time for treatment. Apart from that, we must also not forget some instances of suicide are attributable to religious beliefs. For example, when the leader of a religious sect convinces his followers to commit the act to make it possible to go to heaven, etc. Then also is the suicide that is dictated by one's profession. Suicides of this nature is found amongst the military and special spies. In order not to have some top secrets leaked, such spies go on to take their own lives. After all, dead men don't talk. Good morning, Dr. Mwako Abinwaham.
Yo.
Yes, sir.
Is it Kwame? Depression was some come. Ayana, it say here a very balanced perspective. A huge number of people who are depressed, but they are not suicidal.
Yeah.
And men who obinswa on ye depressed, but or is suicidal. And men who obinswa or ye depressed and or say suicidal. And a hono, I am very careful. Say, but no kure them say, so be ebe depressed, obey to me. Menya case bisa for the past 10 years, quite a good number of them. You much say ebi wohonoma when you have mental illness no. So woman on a psychiatrist and a psychologist able you want to say for such cases no a balance of some level of medication and psychotherapy. So medication no ebi wohonoma say obi fa kuhia semuni amani mu sanemu it can change your brain chemistry. In Rubia, I also feel now a boy in your thinking process, no, they are affected. It is a when you're psychiatrist, no assessment, no, there are some antidepressants. Now, a antidepressants, no, not able to do, come on, you want to say there are some antidepressants that can rather push you to kill yourself. And you don't just give antidepressants to Ubia or else you said that without giving psychotherapy is dangerous. Both go together. And say, what come you boom? Onya a drone FA Obi then come no example.
Yeah.
Say Obi losing a Juma. How will a pill change that perception? Say, I've lost my job. A Juma now will lose no. And then yeah. A pill will never change it. But the psychotherapy can alter the way he sees the challenge.
Just say
Kasachre adaidane no who say and then no say me lose my job and just say my life is nothing. na momu no metumi anya job bio me she obi sa well losing a job and say the world has come to an end but me then na within 3-4 days no hu say ma me kra me wo some potential bi am explore come within 2 weeks na wanya adwuma onya sa adwuma no completely sa edona ofi aso no off because a meaning into no the balance perspective is the most efficient. We you know free home kwame me balance me can say because a multi-dimensional you know na you widen the ediba.
Yeah.
Machine Crawford, and this will take me to the next way. Machine Crawford come in. What do you know? Or say or feel say baby piano.
Yeah.
It's more spiritual. Obi say oda or say obi nyane no. Na nipa na catch say wo kokun ho. But narratives no. Let me say me do ko be kan dey account. Ebi so ho ma say me fam pa bo mu wie no. Me be fine. Come me say she bi a ono okwasore. Ojinyamidi okaton scrum. And so ne buafu nyankopon.
Setting.
Okay, much I say. Ama enon so no e lead to suicidality. In fact, in 30 cases bi a one a attempt to say obeji omon kwa nyame adom. Nyame edi of via went to me anji won kwa free won sema no. Bebre nsem bi no ka ba ko ne say me kwa sorry. Me ba for ye. Ma ba for so me see kasem nkoyi.
Yeah.
Enti I'm angry at God. Nyame se obehye ne hwenu nya on hye ne hwenu nya ma bre. De tie bi me se fo ka che me se me fa sense ka imra na ma me na me nsa onyam be ya adepa bi ma me ma hwe ni mu emba de tie ana mienu ana nine onyankopon aka ona se mu se ne ote ososro hintabiam etna twedi amponuni ase samanti wa no kotu okwa ase orinso anajo bumbo anabema enem yakete opebeto obenkum opidu ato nifa na wo de eren kan but I say metiwei me kids nya a shut down me ko fast ye me bompaye there may be a semi be amaye come a class of factors here no spiritual crisis. A spiritual crisis and say your perspective about who God is doesn't resonate with your experience of how he works in human life.
Yeah.
Said you was here for you say send nyankopon etino ene wo experiences wo so ehunu ne se nyankopon esi fan dipa ho na oye na dwuma no ene no ehia enti eprewa dwene ana fe in that class no wo won a o say bribi hye no enti wo de o mo fa deliverance mu empire mu a na wo bom pan mu a bebi fie mu be free sabre no bo say why kama. And see, I want to reiterate the point again. Say, suicidality and suicidal behavior, no, a multi-dimensional malaise, a several factors, and a count boom. Now, a many panel, a do bensubia, a yen say, a nipakura dignity, and a sadia, and qua, and I made the mind, I will say, crum, near Bubra Fanocorano. I will say, me touching now mono the feeling is that when I am off or gone the pain also pain na nipa name on na made bi mu na sa pain no there is always the misperception say when I am gone the pain has ended.
Yeah.
When I am gone, the misery has ended. When I am gone, the trouble has ended. They said, "Ya can walk on nasa."
Yeah.
And you know, me running out the first fact, you know, you know about me and son. They did kind. Every suicide or every person here or fellow suicide biano has a story. There's a story that must be heard. Adibi wo hono a e wo say tie adenti ana somasi pese ojene nkwa ehemu kire se ya watenka bi onipa mefa no self preservation obi ni ho a obeto ne nkwa twene sa eno ane se also keke se matome nkwa twene. But when there is a threat to self preservation and as se bia adwemu yare bi enti nipa no misperceive na dwene nkotote na che se eno si a ebetumi aba se nipa no ebegine nkwanfre. Until there's a story I will say you say what is happening. The story will not give us a cause can I say A will lead to B, no, but the story will give us very useful associations. You bet me who say point A, point B, point C, D, E, F, no, and me said they are exerting some pressure be any pay abrabunga say bena ebeboa 2. And so maybe say me more to follow this stage, and they say every suicide has a logic.
It has
a logic.
It does.
It does. There's a logic in, and the logic is why do I want to die? For example, if I have an incurable disease, there may be 2 or 3 logics. The first is that say many kidney failure. Now I'm going through dialysis. Capital intensive. It's a fortune. I'm robbing my family of the needed finance to take care of other things. And you know, let me take my life. Now me spare my family the burden. That's logic number 1. So obi elusu ni bema. Na eyane say ni bema ne man yedi mu a. Na we lose ni bema onto me ne yere sabe enhia. Na wonya eba mfiri mu a. The logic is that I'm no longer man. Me wua. Sir, and him go as loss of face. Mema no, menima egu as no. Me wua, mini hobby. There's a logic. Obia, Najuma say, the logic is that oh sika and ye boo. Oh Najuma obiembu. So see a miniske, metro ede. Me film kwa. Maybe in the house. Say the logic behind it, you know, in our study, reasons. Say a DNA a tadi. If you hokra a vendetta, obi se me kumi hu na dia show. If you say dia way me nti no, me kumi hu pa na mo say me kumi hu. It's vendetta suicide. Adwene say me kumi hu na aka say wo dia way me nti me wu. And you know, there's logic in every suicide. Now, so push you kakra na mo say wonga oye mentally ill no. That logic will not may not apply to them. So by mentally ill because there's a misperception. Thought no near enko yi ni ade intino a hodie na a mental illness na lead to cognitive distortions. Adwena adania enko yi within our context as Africans, there is what we call diabolical interventions.
Diabolical interventions.
Yes, diabolical interventions. No, and it's a Africa. No, it's something that is written. I mean, the whole and go to a draw.
Yeah,
a bit prank for, a bit cast a spell on others. I'm a pastor, and I've seen this in my career for years. I was an elder for 28 years. That's not best for me. Not be brave, and also, say in Africa. Diabolical interventions exist, and also in Tiana, you can't once my ear stretch. Ama say, Miss Women chain, no, the panic catcher me say, me tisse ubi shame sending coming one. As a pastor, I pray for the person. Me bomba mani we are. I'm going to look at the person's circumstances. What has happened in the past 12 months? What you must say? Wait, if you factors now, my research actually me say a year associated with that behavior. No, I want to find out. And sometimes when you say you may not see any of the factors. But the vision, what them are for psychiatric assessment, you don't see anything. And say if I'm one bumpire and God touches him. But the view or some diabolical interventions are making, and there are underlying psychosocial challenges. For example, Kwame, the same mechano, Ebia the Juma say, Ebia or expensive challenges in marriage. Now, who say there is a very dynamic or symbiotic relationship between your spiritual life and your psychosocial life. Over to me, how far, and you must say, Ama, you are open to demonic assault. If you say ufri mono, you are so unstable, you are worried, you are bothered, you can't sleep. I just say so many things go wrong. In psychological science, no, these days, no, you have to say a human beings, their soulish life, their spiritual life is very close to their psychological and material life. And so it's better to look at it holistically at this angle.
Prof, Ms. Haba, a few messages nefe memrana mene Dr. Benin Sumbekasa. But this one from Eja Kwabena in Corona, Queens, New York says, I am awake and I'm listening to you. Thank you, Eja. Also from Maryland, Kwabena sends a message. Thanks. Now, this one says, Lampard from Aman from Nkumasi. It says, the drum for suicide is poverty. Well, Prof mentioned something like that. Lampard says, so the main cause of suicide. Thank you very much for the topic. Prof, I branch you the message be a bremen. May they send home.
Okay.
I'll say, I'm a disease control officer. Whatever be your I'll say he nearly took his life. And made the message now, bro. I think he needs for you to reach out to him. Please tell Prof that one of his former students from the psychology department sends his regards. Money from Teshi. He says, I believe Prof will agree with me that a good cognitive behavioral therapy coupled with antidepressants stops suicides in most cases. Then this one also says, I've been struggling financially since June 2018 after I was attacked and robbed by gunmen. They took my money. I started this business with the money I saved while I was in school. I've tried several options for financial aid, however, I've been unsuccessful. I'm currently battling with suicidal thoughts. I want to end it all. Please help. CB, don't do anything to yourself. Why? I'm passing your number on to Prof. And there's hope. Prof, God bless you. Suicidal thoughts are common, but most times we ignore the danger signs. Farouk in Tema. People commit suicide on the grounds of egoistic suicide or anomic suicide. And so many. Which one of them has to do with the mind state? Well, Prof is here. Prof is saying exactly what's happening on the land of the living. Disappointment and failure. Suicide can't do without these two. If a terminally ill person refuses to take his medication that sustains his life, can that be described as suicidal? Ato Intakrade. Prof, can that be described as suicidal? Obi awo yare. Terminally ill. Now a drone a sustaining no. Odru baby also Fabio. So
you want to find out the reason. That's the logic.
But at that point, you know. So
Sure. And it is. It's the logic. Yeah. The logic there to end the pain and now to end the bleeding of funds. Nisika quite in mobile or born a busia. Now on one refuse. No one will be a come in Tobaco. Onya diabetes gangrene. And doctors not even prepare him well. Tinanity, you know, near in it too. Nanity back near up to the knee. Then I said he didn't prepare him for that. Tinanity not in a anyhow. Now, a near Momo can say, only no. And our friend here say, on Vambrano. Mammy, this son of falling to diabetic coma. So, when I to tell no, he he wanted to go. So, the logic, the reason, say, oh, you know, we're free. So, I support the machine also. Now, where I find aggression, escape. Why escape? this pain and anguish, and that's suicidal.
Anytime you raise this topic, I'm reminded of the saddest day in my life. Kwame, I nearly hanged myself due to deep depression, rejection, disappointment, bitterness, and emotional pain I was going through. Fortunately, unfortunately, but for the timely intervention of my daughter, I would have hanged myself. Chairman General, I'm very sad today. Well, we're having a conversation this morning. Mene Professor Joseph Osafo, Head of Psychology Department, University of Ghana in Legon, and Dr. Charles Benning. Dr. Charles Benning is CEO of Triple Grace Consulting Service, was actually a project facilitator of Africa Trade and Investment Global Services. 25 years ago, something happened to him, and he'd like to share. Chairman General, thank you for treating this topic. I had a similar experience in the university. I nearly jumped from a story building in the school. It recurred several times. The logic number one your guest cited is very true. I also felt I should just end their life and save myself from further worry. Chairman, I can only pray that anyone who may be experiencing this may have peace of mind and peace of heart. May God richly bless us all. Dr. Benning,
Kwame,
talk to me. 25 years ago, I didn't buy.
Yeah, Kwame, I'm University of Cape Coast.
Okay.
And our Cape Coast is your pond. It's in Adio. Now, this is how it started. You made to be Emma me Ifrimu.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Chakra Day. You know, I said Chakra Day, you won't.
Yeah.
Into Chakra Day for you me hall. Or just Atlantic Hall.
Yeah, the gentleman.
Exactly. We decided, say, we'll go and help him give the mother a befitting burial. A year, that's right. You could do, you know, Yanyadum, you to me, Buanoma, Okra and Mammy.
Okay.
Now, me, and I say, you will meet a team or if you come on new site, what I cried into me decided, say, make China, Makwa, sorry, Sunday.
Yeah.
After church, you know, then I'm back to school. Proud to that, now you're about to prepare actual exams. You're being so now, probably 50 class 1 ever pay me university. Now, Yamiab do minimum when it comes to academic work.
Yeah.
I minimum the way I'm addition at it. But you go by now, you prepare for end of semester exams. Kwame may be a book na me read ya shinko. Because I said I know you're blocking.
Wow.
Let me say no. This is uncharacteristic of me. Interestingly, no, basically psychology. I was a psychology major student.
Interesting.
It's not even the psychological theories and principles could help me overcome such situation. And I started confiding a few friends and mates. Say, I'm having an academic challenge which is unusual and sanity. Me the type na mission there be 3-4 pages. I said me 3 full stop. My family pen in my paper. My jot salient points no. Enya top up just utwemiti.
Adam.
But Kwame do on me yahia enye yi. Obeka say dey na so Kwame ko bi da. Wow. Indeed, the first thing was if it continued like that, you are going to fail all your exams. Which psychological force and no, I can't contain that situation. And see, now me per solution. Me try several methods of learning. Meanwhile, na adia no emfa. Now before I me call school no so no. Sabi me you be a little outgoing. Me wa adam for
yeah.
Even though I'm handsome, but I get easily attracted to people. And see now me quite popular. Oh, Chakradi.
Yeah.
And I'm at the back campus. Kwame be sure say Benji Kumasa no ya wadamfo Benji obi a na menene wo the same area na sabi of am say senior brother to started Twin City FM first Kwame Pakwesi Brew meka oma na ye show no so as resource persons so no move from me unofficial PRO of Twin City FM into I na sabi majimi den kakra nsa no
guy about
I was factoring all this say Bibi Saba a lot of people will know say no he has failed his exams and see I was trying to manage that without success. Now interestingly that year no university lecturers echo 9 months strike action obi no university that time bekai before I ever strike no na condition we start here them Atlantic call I'm say give also hall bia was na Atlantic na bia mana omo isi no ho na me was 5th floor to the first thought and say guy you can't face this embarrassment so end it. And see there was one dawn I woke up left a suicidal letter.
Oh you did?
I did. Na me begina corridor ho na me share from say how lengthy was it and whether it could help me achieve that objective. And say I rehearsed by 2 o'clock in Beijing ho no na krife fi bi ba ku bi asore ma or tongues of floor. That is what prevented me.
I didn't actual letter suicide note.
Make sure letter and say Mission there enko. My name may be still mean to me and grasp it nyam pese mission no. Na me ready to say me fail me exams. Inti I'd rather prefer to put that behind me. Kwame, a lot of factors came into play and I'm sure you would appreciate it at the tail end of my presentation. Na my name my cousin be may he rest in peace. Obey a lecture will give us later. No hobby. Instead me da some no him. No it's okay. About by saying university hospital doctor back on and then discuss it. Nti who doctor no you didn't come money out there. No doctor cast okay. Me be see an answer what to say on ba be strike. So bad advice say me dey me relax it brain for some time. And yen hwe ne ebeko. Nti me decided okay then me nsia dey bio me twen. Na ya me ncha dey ye dey kofie. Ye ba be kofie ni me say e could 4 weeks. Na ya ba back. Nti first 3 weeks na me call and per doctor's advice no. And now me share movies, me tie ndwom, me share book me kra. But when we're entering into the 4th week, let me be someone say, will the doctor be there to write my exams for me?
Yeah.
Decide I made them share my book, and I say situation no, I better. Come me kai pass me full book me show me read this ana. Me must say me no switch me.
Yeah.
Until me call blackout. Am I me call hospital. Those days na Takrady hospital. You detain me there 2 weeks. You see, initially you declare say I was even in coma. Me hunya. If you were my father Fred, na damn for if you am hospital, and me so call in the hospital will be there 2 months. Still, na you know the exact cause of my situation.
2 months.
2 months. 2 hospitals no. And eventually, me so die be say Kwame me wu. So when my mom came to visit me the next day, I told her, say, in fact, so when you mean her, I don't think I'll make it. I had a very horrible dream. Now interesting, nipa oda channel. Ade channel. Na see nipa ne wu. My nana call morgue. So my mom became convinced at the end of the day, bia me make na somebody want you me be fi. Kwame, to summarize the event, chain of events, me call hospitals, churches, and what have you. Strike action eventually lasted 9 months. I still not recover. But as we were cascading through the various months, now I feel Enyama Bebre a course for me reading. One of them they say those days me kase hwemi yefuna obekase box bi she bi ma oblom from within me wo say yefunu e shiki because electric shock.
Really?
Yes. Na sade no koso a me ti say bibi e koso mi yem e bedu baby no kwame me that writer me say me intestines ni abasa because I'm musa abasa nti me musa biological so sa dia no enya me nti yes sabi bin my person no we are spiritual to enemy ko call churches in ade a binum e ka say ya to me drew there's a bit to pay as to what I did they couldn't tell but I say in school na madam fu bi no why yes sir to come when I dream me say I didn't am I to deserve this kind of afflictions na me share near echoes of me my business say how can I let people appreciate say I'm going through hell coming na easy and not three sama actually ya ban say one night me dasana me take this voice say listen you can't contain it any longer because you can't even guarantee say sabi who's here go heaven why must you suffer on earth and who's obeko hell so why don't you at least shorten the sufferings on earth then you leave your feet to God. That was the funny feeling. Me obi a nyame adom na issues are incheni say mebre for solutions but na me hwe ne akoso na family na edin because me ti wo me reading na actually na me da terrible dreams me so die na me who say black ants bebre na I saw what makoma me struggles before me be me no she said maka Jesus and I be sansana me who say the last one akwansa na ma survive sa we no inti echi na I don't know so me as apart from physical way no me nya spiritual side of it me ntimi so endidi me didi just about 5 muzzles come yempe na because I dey concrete gu me yem na me tete wow I said no nti insu mom na menom just to survive nti do baby na ma start say me shrink so me reduce in size and those days you know kwabe ya breso no na ye we takra do na ye guys be 3-4 na mba no dosun nti by environmental factors you know sabi I'm saying America what you say nti I started asking myself and sabi and those were the time and 8 to sakosropa okay and so na condition 8 so ka go fin kan crunch no mo say sabi spiritual na ade nti that was another voice about no look at the way you've started growing lean. I had forgotten say naturally wounded d no struggle no so better in there but my dream so no bit me I eat and that was when that voice said now you got to finish it before everything comes out.
Meanwhile, now what attempt to be free back?
Yes, okay, that was the first time.
In Tikrife boy na no obompae no on the distract my
on distracting me. You on the anche UCC one incha me jump here. Yeah. Into actually one night and me parents Emma me cousin back cuz see or your sofokra. Ona me ebedai. Because no mo share the way I make complaints and no me biu near the no musa no say omunye bi no bem into menen na the eda pay 1:40 to 2 a.m. ne musa okọ me so na nda no kra me brands na nda na ba ewia mom na bitimi da kakra but night na there ne mitimi nda into oye ya na me say no what will be the fastest and the least painful form of suicide. Yeah. I started thinking and the first thing that came to mind say electrocution. Wow. And Kwame, I really disconnected 3 GBA na see boys get to her plug no me kata me ni na me jam note but the mensa virtually I can electric no me kosro be bofum ma obia sorry am machine be what is happening. I didn't die. I was unsuccessful with that first attempt.
I didn't shock my do feel
me koso bugum just so me ankasa ma me tue koto center table bia na wo bia me wono so ma me cousin no sorry nti my parents me had to say there was noise bia be check no mo say no bisa me so na afraid I was trying to give an excuse. But Omo said no, I didn't be a kono. Akwanunya obedi boni ashen.
You tried electrocution?
Yes, I tried electrocution without success. That was the first thing that I did. Now, later on, you may call another place. No more confirm me, say, I am madam for. Na nipano, I say jealousy. Na omu yusuno. I remember very well. I say, nkrofubi taichi. But they identify somebody or jealous me or campus for whatever reasons I didn't know by then. Na nipano akotu me drew. Na papa nyashia bonus nyashia nti ombe reverse ni ade. And I felt said no. Wait a minute. Why some boni pa kuni didn't share me? Because I was ready to go. And I felt at the time all what I needed was to know who was behind it. Then he joins me. Fair deal. But they didn't mention whoever was involved. Now, Kwame Miguso Mebre. Until 9 months no lecturers no go back to school. Still now may recover. So my other brother midway had to go and defer my program. So that Yamaya Madam say may recover between Matria Madison and so. Until long story short, I also tried hanging by suicide by hanging. That was another dawn. I met the one I didn't be seen with him said no. Listen, a burner will burn on kind of break. Or morning will call hospital and the church is in here, then they are not feeling it. So try it. It was how much? And so as usual, me jam note no sir. That one I even took the notes along.
Now what they concern? Yes,
but they concern me home. Now me far at home.
Yeah.
Now back of our house, you know, there was this apple tree. Make a full apple tree, you know. Now me shash one now me say my soul was fighting with a decision I wanted to take, and I was doing a lot of analysis. Say sabi you will meet to matter this assume. My call Sunday school, my call boys brigade. Me kai say me did 11 years when me reading Bible. Sorry.
Yeah.
My call Wednesday class, my call youth fellowship. I was financial secretary of Donwell Methodist Youth Fellowship at a point in time. So with all these quote unquote credentials, why must I kill myself?
Yeah.
What kind of legacy would I bequeath to Christendom, my family, friends, etc.? Tell me yes, I no, the decision I wanted to take wasn't right. But there was another voice that says no, finish it. Because they are not feeling your pain. And indeed, I tied a rope around my neck on the tree.
What did she show home?
But she showed me point. But I actually do that I may work fin finibia. But I actually me point. I said me reflecting on the decision I wanted to take. And see, me ya na bia him said no, that is not you, Charles. Obia him say we a cool guy, one year officer. And this side there. I think would you continue to suffer like this and finally die? Why don't you end this pain? It's a me China, me cry is soon. I was shedding tears. And no, that's not me. But me see na me cry. Me say baby cream. No, that's a stupid decision. Go back. Kwame, I overcame that one as well. Now, my father along the line. Now, those days, ports and harbors and railways.
Yeah.
Oko, one of the big men of it. Oko India, koye oko sibiyo. No, but no the shoes be buy.
Yeah.
And that was very strange. Me wo fiana BBM said no, this shoe, koshum, there's something that you can just take in and you go. Me koshum me no. What's that? New shoes there, this sashi.
Yeah.
You I said I've forgotten the name, silica or whatever it is. It is FM. 2 sachet woman. Now I poured into a half glass of water. Now me jam me note na me no me. Kwame ampege me, let alone dying. I was so disappointed. And so what form of suicide would work for me? Worst scenario, man you be crying. I said I make that. I said be I took me pillow so. Say me suffocate me to death. Because then I cost me mono. You needed to be in my shoe to know say no. A normal human being shouldn't go through that kind of stuff. And see, you did the Musa na a tree. You never baby was central region. and sorry.
Okay.
I'm also also confirm say ya to me drew near there ombeka kwame so
this was still
na me break until on 15 June 1995, which was actually my birthday.
Yeah, so you June.
I had my sixth form education at Apam Secondary School. I'm sure most of my mates listening to me probably would know. So I knew that terrain because Biayawan was in the central region. So my mom decided to go to the market to get something to come and cook for me because it was my birthday. Mm-hmm. So I called my first car, said, no, let me take a drop in. I went to Apam Beach.
Yeah.
So that would be the fastest and probably the easiest. Kwame, I did it. What happened? Sincere, I spent 2 days, 2 nights at the beach killing myself without success. I was telling Prof, sir, sometimes when someone say, is that I'm dead and life in the next world is not too different from the previous one. Because I struggle to understand something. Me kaipa say, me to Laguna enter Mpuano. Me kai say you started say come humina masumini ade.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I escaped that one too. But I didn't even give up. 2 days, 2 nights. No me shampoo na. There I didn't have any paper, so I just wrote on the ground. Me trying to fisher folks no. Omoka from 7 to Bay 2 no.
Anajuno.
Jamboree, trying every possible means. Meet me who's a canoe na. Omo anko mo show no. Meet me so rope me sa. Na makoto makija canoe ma to mo hatu nsuo no. Na wave na sana to me aba. That's Apam Beach.
Is this a movie you are telling?
It isn't a movie. I'm sure my mom is still alive. My brothers, I mean, they can tell you the story. So the third day, I think the second day or so, I started asking myself a lot of questions again. That no, but your parents hadn't given up on you.
Now two stand by.
Exactly. Sometimes I feel say God preserved my life so I can share my story to save others who are going through what I went through. I also believe strongly that if all those who died suicidally were to be given another chance to come and tell their stories, I would realize that invariably there is a spiritual connection. Because do you know how I got healed?
About saying,
Kwame, it was exactly a week before 1 year. I was at a church, eventually I got to know, say, it's one of these white garments, spiritual, whatever churches. And what happened there is another story. However, wherever I was sent to, I tried to interact with some of the inmates to find out how long they've been there, what's brought them there, what has been the experience there. Now, maybe I compare, maybe I say, looking at my situation, will I be cured within the shortest possible time? If, based on the responses I get, I feel say, no, they are coming to waste my time, I wasn't even cooperating with whatever they were doing there. Until there is this Lady B hairdressing salon. A friend of Yagira, I'm sure say, oh, you understand. Inshira.
Yeah, bless him.
Onona Ubine me corn in chain. So the young man is okay, vast na ye tune the drone and that sort. So that lady told me, say, Bibia me wono na Trevor Apostolic churches. Na my medicine hono better the white garment churches. Na ono hono ye wono we hu crofo ye ne o maba ho a ye be release la kofie ko obekọ no kwa kwewu. Nti she would rather advise say my parents can me feel na on per se a gentleman like me just like that. Let me guys listen. At the point in time I felt so because say o twa me pon me menyam healing na I will yelled because my year said me I'm not getting well and the situation is compounding. And for how long can I contain it? No, say birthday be a money no a prayer fellowship. Nyame ensa wono so. To na beka. Na o ma hwa ya be bompa no believe say am bit me use so no heal me. And God being so strange, you go so ya kasa na brother no friend no. No so o hospital ko bompa my inmate ni bi. So she told the brother so upon the salon. The brother came And Kwame, that is how the whole story started. Or a story, no, or mom a Bible, no, name me for quotations, and just to prepare me psychologically, I said God could do it. A bumpire honana, me who said I was getting healed. Me fool said name be full me nine me said my body chemistry na sasa. So I became convinced say nyame beti me using na me dey chapel. So I had to arrange for my parents to get me out of the place. We were then at community 5 in Tema. So it was my house that a deliverance took place in 1995. And Kwame, this is what happened. Deliverance, you know, there were manifestations by quote unquote some spirit, demonic spirit, if you like, or abeye from Sabim Papa and Mami Ebushim. I don't want to go into details, but there's some grandmothers and some aunties who came together. Say, if they gave me chance, I would embarrass them because Sabi, Nyame ayemi di pakasiye. So they needed to finish me. Indeed, they used my roommates from what happened.
Yeah.
And indeed, what baffled my parents' understanding was that there was one of the 5 names that came out. I didn't know her until she died. At the time, but her name also came out. They all mentioned their names and they all came up with their accounts why they thought they should finish me. And that particular person was what made my parents believe, say, wow, we are saying one part. Because that woman wasn't from my hometown. There's a nearby town where I said, only those grandmothers and some aunties, you know, but I didn't live in Takrady, my hometown. It was Takrady. But also didn't buy all canasam near then parent. So my father even had to bring a cameraman some cover and some bananoshi. And Kwame, I vomited some of the in Drone, Nyama, Yadame Mammy's churches, whatever. 8 months, 9 months back, I heard say me face Sanyamano. And that is how I got delivered. And indeed, the my roommates in Dini again buy say they realize say Sabi or no say and then we're in the same room. And in fact, one thing that God also gave me is wherever I found myself, leadership. To the extent says humbly. The same man without even my consent. I mean, they virtually ambushed me. So what point am I trying to see? I'm trying to see say Ubi Ebeka say or J or Nanum Quiffin in Sema. And yet Adia Ubi in his right frame of mind. Bibi and Bronosa, Obakaso couldn't hold that. But come, you agree with me, Sabi? I ain't your crazy. So why must somebody think, say, I just want to check out prematurely? Now, listen, Yanyadum, I was able to go back to school. You could read my course, no? I have a master's. And I've held, the last time I checked, 3 MD positions. And yeah, no, at a point in time, no, say, Meno, Nyame Engo shows a favor. Or my say, I should be meeting world leaders, president, kings, etc. Kwame, later, no, Ube will say, indeed, no, we are no, because me were Adam from more president, me Adam from where I am for. They relate with me like friend and son. Me who say, I'm pa, and summer is see so many years ago, no. Now, I got here, I got back, and me personal story, no. These are some points I've learned. Say, you can't factors that would culminate in suicidal attempts. 1, the individual, the victim, would invariably feel a sense of hopelessness. If you say, why didn't your baby until your day? The other point, and he said, you feel say no, you are becoming a burden to those around you, immediate family, friends, etc. And all these, it's something that I'll call manipulations. Ube say voice be no reminder. Say, don't you see you are becoming a burden?
Yeah.
Don't you see your state is so hopeless that there will be no solution? You will just continue suffering until you will still die. So when you are confronted with these questions and you're not able to find answers, the solution is
kill yourself. It's
no longer worth living. Just end it and be free. The other one is you feel like you should withdraw from people. You are with them, but you are not, amongst them. So just avoid them. So anytime will be a go through a state of depression or anxiety, then you have these symptoms now. We should monitor that person closely. You always want to be on your own, and that is what would result in you thinking, say, no, let him go. Another point, any losing interest in covert activities. I did be a while say, I did with me, open room, almost a walk casa. All of a sudden, they will notice, Sunday, you are sharing them. And now, the Paconoso, the mood. I say he's not with you.
Yeah.
We say, I will give you also. No, I'm okay. I drain in Shadanka at Asifudi. He's contending with forces. Then another one, any so I saw or young will virtually would say no come mama. Seminiwa be a monfa we motion ye so on bar. Say some common cosa.
There's some
indicators. Say Nipano ya monitana sabi obedient nunkwa ifinisim. And these are a few other issues I also want to touch on.
I'll come to it shortly. But Prof, Arabi has sent me a message. One funny dianka. I say or two awful enough. I say it's better for your daughters to come back home from an abusive marriage than to come back in a coffin. Kwame, I tried suicide 3 times because no one believed my story. My husband was a saint outside and a monster at home.
Oh.
I was still in there because of what society will say, and also for the sake of my children. He threatened to kill me if I didn't leave his house. God saved me because I started doing weird things and realized I was losing my brains. I started living in fear and didn't even want to see my own children. 3 years on, after the separation, my 3 boys and I are living happily. I don't know, say somewhere, Jumemno, Emma, I wawariasi. Omusu silently. Obi wa ni kunu timi bono. Obi wa ye yan nyame bi ofi yo. Sani o kan o say nobody believed. Say papa yo okay say o yesura bofri o kunu ofie. Me ba sisi a mensan kwa homa no so na mene lawyer Kisi Ajabe nkasa. First day yes our discussion he came in with the angle of the law. E bia na nipa bebre ntie me pese obi team mu bio na ye hwebe bia emra ne chene no nkasa so the personal thoughts. Lawyer Mache.
Yeah, Joseph.
Boko de.
Boko.
Many where this anchor mo da minim sa. But e bia na nye nipa bebre ne tie. Emra and this suicide at the same.
Yes,
yes.
I mean, say, Emrano, a shet nipa mienu, a bisu, and the Onipana or Pese Okunohono.
Yes.
And Obia, Oma Mwebi, Ama. Odi mwebi mandi opeso okunihono. Za nipa mienu we na emra no ehwe. Nti efa onipa na opese okunihono. Se unya kun hu we dia we kwanya kun hu awie obi anu ni asem enso se o pese kun hu na when timi enkun hu na owu ama na asoti asede a Ghana sa ya hye emra no eni odika se on se Ghana ya emra no CMPO much of it no yajifi English for abrofo no na omomra no susu no ejina Judeo-Christian principles nti efa ne say a Christo sem na English for no emra ni jina nti ohwa omomra no fapem na kese na ti Bible ni nti de yadigina so no yes amra we jina so no any sa one of the 10 commandments that thou shalt not kill no my nkunipa nti say ultimi nkun obi dia ene na usu ntimi nkun nti mrane say uye say ukokun hu na wa ntimi nkun hu a ene na wa committee bibi e friend misdemeanor eno no nshada anya adikase bia na nso ebetimi duwa kwa efiase ebusume kakra ana ebetimi abo fine na watia eno ye onipa na no pese okun ne ho na wentimi enkun ne ho no
ni asante na
akoye se mra no pese o ka se wo ye se okokun ho de ne hwese wetimi ekun ho nya sa wentimi enkun ho de enu obi ena onipa ba kono ye onipa na ne se ode moa bi ma de o pese okun ne ho no ono no Rofunum near friend, a law near friend, abatement of suicide. Oh no, Yamra no fan say, or no, you wouldn't, or you wouldn't pass, what their own peso, what their own peso, and so peso them will be ma will be a peso kun. Now, Nipana, I am peso, or Nipana, or peso kun, Nihona, Mranem peso. Okune hono kra na yani e obidi na nka mpese wa bua obi se onkune ho e bia na na akoto ahoma no unim so okosen ne ho e bia na na akoto otuo no unim so peso obone hutuo e bia na una akoto edubone no unim so peso poison ne ho ankofu e nyina no ebra no fa ne se oyowudi ni nto no na so twe no eso on the betting out of prison afi bebre
na mechi emra no fapem no
na yedi mra yechi yegitum se obi a why na adwen se obeku no ho no at that point sebe adwen na correct nti baby ayefa mra ifi ya omokra no omo decriminalizing ni mo na mo kire law mo na mo ye lawyer for ye be ne dey
I mean tina dan me ka say edumre a esese ye dwen asem ni hu biom me ye boss ankomo yi e ka amanko me na adana me ka cho say law yi ma kire mfie bebre e ka amanko na sa law na nkeni o sin onipa na opeso okun ne ho no ene ma bebre ayati ene wa program bi so adanu ne ene e ma bebre ayati tin se e ma hu dwiri se obi a opeso okun ne ho de se ewi ase nye ne de bi ewi ase ye ne nyo na se wantimi enku ne ho a na okoda afiase aye den e bi anya mmoa bi no hia e bi anya hospital bi ne o se de ne ko e bi anya mmoa foforo bi ne o se de ma no na wo san de na kwakoto afiase na den na mfaso ben na unya wo intimidate ka manko pa ade samra no de o se atutwene na ye bom komoni bi o hwe se so bi apeso okuku ne ho na wantimi enku ne ho a mremu no then ye betimi aye a ade mfaso be man rather than say emfa no koto afiase ye money charge ye money damage eno no mfaso bi ani ho yes ah ye wo pesa o kan say eni oni pa no pesa oku ne ho a obe se ni sapomu nso den say eni obeku no because onim say so okoya na wa anye ye na say wa nwu a mo ba be tina ko police station am de na ko court akọ te fiase dia ene na o te ase so o ye den was here saying now the autosum you know the Oma Obi Mwase on Frankuno and no a bit near my bebre tia Janus or see kakra although I cast almost with you for no said the no dear no you would give me sir Obi Owa or the hospital when you cancer be chese or what you almost we are woman the morphine cry woman the trauma dog cry and chese or young woman Obi on or the machine so machine take Emma Udu machine is a normal light of Shabioko. Ubu on Pesa Otna CSR, we did them to the extent on Pesa Otna CSR. And no, I was yes, I'm boss uncle money is near Chese. It could be a beer. You bet me, my doctor who finds there will be in Pesa Otna Biona Nasutano Aye. Opelesa. You bet me, my doctor who finds there. Only Sanki, the normal chef, Biana humanitarian grounds, no. Obet me, I'm an apple in dignity, na euthanasia. I'm a baby, yes, I know. Ethical considerations, baby, and as I is dangerous in one way, one shall not make a doctor for anybody. But one shall not when you 1 or 2 beer or no namna said or you would listen with the dream no namna for in the name of assisted killing. But Uncle Moim I was see a ship near boss Uncle Monife. Obi Peso Kuniwa Obi yes Okuni one. Yes, Nipano. The dia to sing para Sabian sing keke. Bibi trupa hana home person or tenavia situ. I'm Ramuno. Your bed then, your debate chilies any pay. Your bed then, your debate is any wine. Into Kwame Mudisamia. A horn else say a damn common horn I see a dream fat. Rather than Bibia and I do go to prison. Bibia and I could be damaged, you know. Your person then no man Bibia ends up in prison when it comes to Zanem and Nimawi. There was again we. If 1960s near Fana, and now we are in the 2020s. Then I was here, and my young trapper.
Madam say, what woman come on up, Papa? Kisi Ajabeng, Yamin Shrow. New Juma lawyer Kisi Ajabeng sharing his thoughts on this. Chairman General, thanks for a very educative and important program. I strongly believe you've saved millions this morning. Charles in Kede sends that one. My sister is going through the same problem. She's attacked my mother. We don't know what to do. I want to contribute whichever way possible. Please help. I'm passing on your number to Professor Safo. I attempted suicide 3 times by drinking Parazone. Because my wife, her family and mine all were against. Even my pastor refused to listen to my story. What saved me is a friend committed suicide the same period, that is June 2017, and my mind changed. I separated from my marriage and I'm sound today. Kwabena in Takrady. Abu in Tamale says we've learned a lot. Abu, thank you. I'll read the rest of your message. I know where you're going. Rainbow in Kaswa says, I'm really touched by the story of the man in your studio. Thanks to him for his words of encouragement to us this morning. I am happy Dr. Benning is alive to share his story. By the way, is he the same Dr. Benning from Akwetia? Walanyo in Akwetia says that. Doc, do you have any Akwetia connection?
No, I'm from Singabriku.
Oh, okay.
Central region.
Kwame, you always discuss these matters and talk about how women are suffering at the hands of men. Kwame, men are also suffering greatly at the hands of women. Some men are suffering mentally and physically from their women. It's not only about women. Kwabena from Fusu. Yes, we just read one from Takrady as well. Thank you. I know a friend about 10 years ago attempted to end it all after his wife abandoned him and started flirting with another man. This friend one day climbed his 2-bedroom house and wanted to jump to the ground. A good Samaritan called the neighbors and they rescued him. Today, he's made it big time. And trust me, he's an ardent listener of Kokrokoo. Say Obama in Pokwasi. Such stories can be told without ending. People are going through terrible experiences. It's just by the grace that some of us are still going. Kwesi Reynolds, Agona, Odobing. Charles, then I would cut the extra tour. Apart from sharing your story, what else would you like for people to know? Especially, your share experiences are. No, be see me, Mr. Prof, and Sunti Prof, they about try to have mommy. Don't you think it's always the best solution to end it all? When you lose hope in everything, when everything is crashing down on you, Chairman, I come here, yo, Nana Ajiman in Bantama. Charles, anything else you'd like us to know?
Yeah, Kwame, yes. These are a few takeaway points I want the listening public to.
By the way, Charles, we are president of Full Gospel, right?
In actual fact, I was a president of the Grace chapter. January na democracy for the sake of democracy. Now one of the directors of the Care and Compassion Directorate of Full Gospel Business Development, Full Gospel Men's Fellowship. Yeah.
Only American sponsor working.
Yes, minimum very well. Well, Apam Secondary School.
I'll say Uchiona or no why the same house.
Okay. Me who are okay.
We're different.
Bench.
We are bench man. Into bench man.
Thank you.
Suchiano paper papa, and he thanks God for your life.
Yes.
Okay. So the takeaways, and then we'll go to.
Yes. Quick one. First point, and I say. Public meeting will say when people are going through such situations, they should not be judgmental. Because they are in a different world or state. Unless you are in their shoe, you will not appreciate what they are going through. Second point, I say they should not be dismissive of their experiences or emotions. Or kana sama. Why do you say that Bia Nadriano and what teach man at Bisa? But it isn't really the case. It's a within ye. There will be some more questions. We be saying all common waiting ya Kasamba could be actually obeying hopes. Okay, after all, that should not be the end of my life. But we take key minor manner pointing for granted that you are pushing them virtually into their grave. The other point, and I say for depressed people. We should closely monitor them. Show extra love. Then the God factor. Prayers. Now only omo ebeche nyame ensam. No be say that is not the plan of God for their lives. Say yetimi ya desanye me ka ho na yamanipa no say there was a divine purpose for which God created you, and not until you accomplish it. No, there is no reason whatsoever. So because say, "Wow, for one kwa," but my nyamenakasa nembre permanent onto some freo, and also boa bebre kwame. Then we have to create environment protective to them. And say you promote connectedness. Bia obi open asam na danfo bi wa ma friend no chale ko se mba be hrewo ya na mame na obi a open no cause e basa na obi o ye enimi bia no ba ne nchen a you provoke the person, but obi o bu mano ana open asam like obi ka say ne banti we nku no ho no se bia ne ba na mba ne nchen ma wan hwe ne ba ni so no, this is an innocent child who should not suffer this traumatic experience because of me. Another point is identifying skills and now you try to bring them on board. In my case, there were 3 incidents we had seen in the past, which makes the whole story very profound. When I was in O level, many madam for Kobichi Kodare.
Yeah.
Kwame, those days, in Sio FM, I was rescued unconscious. He died, the body was found after the third day with eyes everything gone. This was in 1984. Upon secondary school, my mates would tell me I was going to write an exams. I had a snake bite. Mm-hmm. I virtually had to write a paper at the hospital. 2014, after a prophecy said, Sabi, they were after my life because of opportunities there. I had 5 accidents. I had driven for 15 years without a single accident. 4 out of the 5, they hit me from my back.
Yeah.
I had an accident Palm Sunday. I had an accident Easter. The point I'm trying to make, finally, Kwame, is that and if we don't draw closer to God, we always have to draw closer to God. And I say, Nyame, asofoni, yen Christian brothers and sisters, encourage you, the Bible. Other than that, 2 forces. Me voice back or say, end it and be free. And I heard the other one that said, no, there's so much potential in you, and they want to terminate your life prematurely. Now, just by His grace, in the 4 Gospel chapter, I'm here president.
Yeah.
They have a grace chapter. Adam Keke.
The grace.
So I found triple grace.
That's your company.
For very good reason.
Now I understand.
Adam na broso.
I understand.
Thank you very much, Kwame.
Dr. Charles Benning, CEO of Triple Grace Consulting Services. He's also a project facilitator of Africa Trade and Investment Global Services. And yet the grace of God, I would have lost you.
Yes, bro.
Thank you for sharing your story.
The pleasure is always mine.
Prof, Arabi say I got pregnant at 17. Out of frustration, rejection from my family, my friends and society, I tried suicide. There's this black powder that is used to kill rats. I bought it at Kanishi Market under the second bridge. Mixed it with akpeteshi and drank. I felt weak and thought I was going to die. To my surprise, I woke up the next day. I was so disappointed when I woke up because I was hearing voices. Why don't you try something else?
Exactly.
And the other was also telling me not to. Kwame, it's been 18 years. When I see my 18-year-old daughter today, I just smile. Now I'm in tears. For obvious reasons, me needing Ephraim. We can only thank God. We all go through bad phases sometimes. Today, on my birthday, I can only give thanks to God and encouragement to anybody suffering. Remember the biblical saying, this too shall pass. Jimmy Alote sends that one. Happy birthday, Jimmy. God bless you. Suicide cannot be an answer to getting dumped by a lover. In any case, the person will go away and someone will grab. So look for a new one. Don't kill yourself. It is sad, Chairman General. It is very sad. God always makes a way when there seems to be no way. God sometimes does it through others. So when someone comes your way through such a turmoil, be open and embrace the person. God is good all the time. Leslie from Zurich sends that one. And then this one says, I've tried to take my life twice because of frustrations I was going through at the hands of my wife. I was defrauded. My work wasn't working well. I tried to end it by drinking Pyrazone. My 2-year-old girl was right there, and she asked me, Daddy, what is that? The second was also when I tried to commit suicide. A certain smoker of you know what I mean. He was smoking at a bush. He saw me, took the rope from me, and that day he taught me how to smoke. Now I'm a smoker and I need help. She said, Ni in Bachuna says the lady who mixed akpeteshi and rat poison got it wrong. Akpeteshi neutralized the rat poison straight Ni true mom. Akpet na no hye. Akweko se okwa akuku no ho okoya. Wakusua wi no. Reverend Yao Anoche Bafo shares this one. I'm sure it will excite Prof. Kwame, I worked as a hospital chaplain in Wenchi for 3 years. I counseled more than 60 attempted suicide cases. Kwame, suicide is real. Let's pay attention to it. All categories of people are susceptible. The police accosted me on some occasions to pursue legal action against some of the victims, but I objected and sought holistic healing for them. Decriminalizing suicide is needful and essential. Reverend Yao Anoche Che Bafo. Dr. Charles Benning, sitting in your studio, has attempted almost every form of suicide but didn't die because God simply loves him. Master Planner Junior Kintampo. Prof, I think someone will pay you.
Junior.
I think someone.
Mommy, Ebiana Fimimboa, the dog kind, and a few things in one to funny had him. You wait him and need him just hold on upon mommy. You because remember now, Swabro. Some comedy start here. Your future mechanical cream once and I done it beautiful for me. The kind of Obi can say now our abusive relationship. Yeah. Na ofri mono. Imagine. And you want to say Afibia 1 out of 3 women suffer physical abuse. Physical. 1 out of 3 globally. The tell being 1 out of 7 suffer sexual violence. And Pemu Agudia di Prenipa. Now, if read the year 2000 until now, which is like 20 years, all right? Yeah, 20 years to now. Interpersonal homicides. Which is a free and nipa ntabu and tokankitenketene we know has claimed over 8 million lives. And the as a bit here now abusive relationship ma mesrewa to an amona kwajemwa. Yeah. And now we be men so wa koma edikiti a chese sorry I just moje hwiegu ansa also unyamwa. And Mr. Yehupa say conflictual relationships in Ghana are a major driver of suicidal behavior. Here no free one more. Dog Casano or born maybe swear na a count na your kind of back who said he wasn't doing well. Oh, Nadisimu. And then he was a bit worried. At that time, who said he be any atom to pay. But if we need to know, it fits perfectly into the ehu. So sometimes distress over academic performance. Distress. Some yadi madi and kwenim blah blah blah. And no, you say in Ghana hano SHS4 we nipa could do 3 are attempted suicide. SHS. Yes. 3. Now, if so. I never can and you can say, or say at the point, no, it was a very monitor. Very important point. So, we be fast suicidal crisis. Who here Obia Obebeno, who here Obia Obe Ordinary Nechi, Ama Abuano, Nasa Basso Ura crisis no more. Want to me and succeeding Genenqua influence him. If there's no can say at the point we say, why should you go through this suffering? It is a desire to escape a certain discomfort. I just say, when you think I say, my man, my bread, now it is me, bro, let me go. But come here, you know, tougher. Let us say, they did kind. Obia, come across Obia suicidal. First one, don't judge. The Bible doesn't ask you to judge, it asks you to be your brother's keeper. And don't judge. And I'll back on hell. You say in our studies, no, it rather pushes them. Because the last thing on her mind or his mind is judgment. He's talking about pain, discomfort. You are talking about judgment. I know, if I know. Oh, yeah, support. The tip being, don't be dismissive. And don't trivialize. Oh na dia na be ma dia obadi say obi so mpa kona be obi are. You cannot talk like that. So wona ubetumi agina no a obia na hodene. Don't trivialize. They tell me answer and they say don't condemn. Be blood of Jesus. Yes, we can come on him. You don't condemn people when they are in distress. You reach out to them for support. They tell a nine and they say, don't show say I say who's so young. Hey, you need to exude confidence in their presence. Say ope say obuano. I also who say we are confident. Now ope say obuano. Now hey, ready? No idea. Debbie. Oh yes, sir. The person sees class okrano. Be confident. It's here, and I say show that you care. You want to listen. Oh bre. Obese uti. Obese asemo kano. Utena spemu. Na detia siane say be practical. Be practical. Then I'll bet to my idea boy nipano. Is it food? Is it some little money? Is it directing a person to go and see somebody? And what can you do? Yakase, suicide prevention is every person's business. Obia. When we say Dr. Beck and ask me say somebody is inspired. He is not Obia. I said how to help people to overcome suicidal crisis, but just the experience he has shared. No, Edenkwa Ediabrubi. To Obia bet to me aboa Ninia. And if the Deliverance on say, Bomodiana draw on the person's protective beliefs. It be religious, it be philosophical. But she be the protective belief na ye Obrayo Okon. And see, Okasa no Obrayo Okon, and I picked up. Now Obrayo Okon, if you for each say there are struggles, but at the end of each struggle you could be victorious. If you have a religious beliefs, you can draw on their faith. You want to say very powerful. Now, one of the issues in faith, I'll bet me I draw on a hope. The kind of hope induction induce hope in them. Manipani who say na brabo no intwem. No come maybe you know. Nipa otie and so away suicide and so. Almost me can say me.
Yeah.
For every single suicide, ebesino. Anywhere between 15 and 30 are affected. It is those who are affected are they are broken. Now a big crown put me for Emma also would make you on confidence. And the ones who are they can say you are still very important in life. Struggles do not take away your dignity as a human being. And say, we will be a home for so. The feelings you are going through, they may be temporary. In fact, we say suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Adena ope say we jo nka firu nsem ade bia ebetwam ma hie obia na adwuma no ni ene wanya adwuma ma hie obia na ni tuo abaje fi nsem ene ya adwuma ma hie obia oso na irentam na bibiti ene ajai. So it is don't take a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Dr. Benny, roommate no way.
But we Killers also Akaba Kufe, but I'm say this year before I go this year, me sure I was better also.
Oh, other
me I saw ko. Also san agree. You come me we no.
Yes.
Last 2 points and say, wow tie no. Kai hunu say obra edi adane adane.
Yeah.
And then and I'll feel say unya nka be ko ho. And then you say you can have alternative. Now come here hand here and say we should be so only alternative. But more than say over exciting adwene. If you say here the alternatives now obey to me, I take it instead of killing himself. No, they very important. And to say we don't everyone say can say already than you didn't when you break a crazy now only obi susu ho. The person's advice can shed new light on Adiana and ka say we no. Na yi okra no. Na ye fre Ezra ban kwame na lawyer e kan no. Say su ben yi no. yen nominipa yen fa no go to prison yen chechere no yen fine no di ohia enemoa enti yen yisa emran free ona enchechere aban na aban ehun say mental health in Ghana needs financial injection. Now you want to say, when you know you can be out. Doctors, make it to a be doctors, lecturers, come and say what police for. Your data on them. People are dying. They kill themselves. Look at him. Look at this great man here. Say, original convince man can there and conform more Juma or more year. What are they today? And one life means a lot. You can say, oh, back up and that's not the point. The point is that I buy and find shame. Na sambra no onyin free ho. Na yama kwan se obi afa nsohimua. Na ne ho kire no. Na be so je ne nkwa. Onye criminal or is somebody in need of help. Very much me see. Me stress say afi die. Abentu na wafufuro. Na yehunu say ekohwi ase to obi a we na so say even government policies idea go kwemono ebe to me ameliorate some of this district. Na yenso e twa no hwehia no na me ntwa mfoni say nipa no yakwase wa jimi sa atamji atam yi everywhere. Na yehunu say your commitment to support somebody's life can be your own self-preservation. And nana ya o say enyo but ebi say so say emfa ho a daachi ebefa oyem.
Professor Joseph Osafo, Head of Psychology Department, University of Ghana, Legon. Dr. Charles Benning, CEO, Triple Grace Consultancy Services, Project Facilitator of Africa Trade and Investment Global Services. The man who tried suicide 4 times and is still here. Drowning, electrocution, hanging. God just wasn't ready for him. Doc, thank you.
God bless you, Kwame.
For sharing your story. Prof, I'm Prof.
For God and country.
In service to God and country.
Amen.
And one we hope, sir, we've helped you out. I hope so. Say your programming, it's me, Abuao. This one says, happy birthday to Anita Kusi Apia. It's from Mrs. Agnes Nyamiche to you, Anita Kusi Apia. God richly bless you. And also to you, Mrs. Frida Ama Bwahima Entry, MD of Jofel Catering. Have a lovely birthday, Frida. Mrs. Frida Ama Bwahima Entry. It's from your parents, your husband, your children, from all of us to you. The good Lord bless you all. An appropriate song, I believe. Rexomar with a golden, one old song, maybe golden today, answers our questions, huh? Shouting out to my big brother, Mr. Kojo Bene. I love the smile on your face. The next news broadcast is at 12. Kofi Kumbilson is next. Somebody sent me a quote while the program was going on. It says, Kwame, tell your listeners, the bend in the road is not the end of the road. The bend in the road is not the end of the road. Keep your dreams and hopes alive is all you have. Thank you for joining us this morning. My prayer for you is in the book of Numbers in the Bible. Numbers 6:24-26. And so when you stop to say a prayer, say one for me too. It's a tough word out there, but God day we day. God bless. Good morning.